Hello and welcome to my brand new podcast. This is Charlie Duran here, and I wanted to come here and let you know about what to expect in this podcast. Now, many of you might have followed me on social media and seen my posts about my podcast and are wondering, okay, so what is this all about? Is this going to be musical? Is this going to be from entrepreneurship? Yes, it's going to be a musical podcast, right? We're going to talk to a lot of great, influential musicians that have been a pinnacle within their space, right, of music. So, within genres. So we have jazz, we have pop, we have R&B, we have all these different genres that I want to be able to speak to these great entrepreneurs, musicians that have impacted many, many, many people with their music. And also going to be speaking to great entrepreneurs that have started their own business and have successfully made their business grow in a very exponential way. So it's also for you, the entrepreneur that wants to learn or gain a little bit more knowledge about how to grow your business or how to be an entrepreneur, and a lot more understanding of how these entrepreneurs started their own business and how it became about on what they do today, whether it be musicians, real estate agents, pastors that are entrepreneurs as well, book writers, anything that has to do with production within the creative space. So with that said, we're going to have a lot of great guests. I'm going to have a lot of great guests here with me. We're just going to be talking. We're going to be having a conversation and have you listen along. We are also going to be exploring one of my favorite topics is on how to produce music, or how these entrepreneurs produce music and what they do as far as the production of a musical piece or anything that has to do with musical instrumentation, as far as drums, as far as bass, how they record and how everything is put together all in one piece. So when you hear the final product, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know the amount of work it takes to make one song. It can be a musician in Japan, another guy can be in India, another guy can be in Alaska. They all come together, they make a song, or they make a whole entire album, which ultimately, at the very end, it sounds like it's everybody in one room. Now, we know that music has come a long way as far as production and recording. I mean, back in the day, 60s, maybe 70s, everybody used to be in one room. I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't happen in this day and age, which it still does, but it's almost becoming a little rare to actually see an entire band in one room recording one song in one take, which, if you're a musician and you're listening to me, you know that's a little hard to do sometimes when somebody would mess up and then the whole entire take has to be redone again. Now, with the new technology that we have now, as far as, Pro Tools and everything that we use to record music can be edited, can be done in a very subtle way where the listener yourself won't even notice what even went not wrong, but what happened in the edits. So that's another thing we're going to go through as far as musicians and entrepreneurs that really have gotten down the science to recording and knowing exactly what to do, how to make it sound. And I have a great guest with me that's going to be on my podcast soon. I don't want to say his name, but he's going to go through the entire process and what he's done and how many years he has done it for. Also, in my podcast, we're going to have great entrepreneurs that will give you more insight about the business industry. If you're a businessman or businesswoman, or want to get into the business space, this podcast is for you. I like to call this podcast also the Entrepreneur's Podcast because it'll give you more insight about what it is to become an entrepreneur, or how to become an entrepreneur, or find the niche that you need to become that entrepreneur. There's a lot of businesses that you can definitely gravitate towards so you can become the entrepreneur that you want to be. So in this podcast, I hope that you can keep an open mind, listen to this podcast, listen to our conversations with other great musicians, book writers, pastors. I have a lot of pastors here, also musicians. A lot of musicians are going to be in this podcast, and also business people, friends of mine that have been business entrepreneurs for over 20 years that also have mentored me, myself, as an entrepreneur in doing what I do as far as my businesses. So please stay tuned. We got so much great knowledge headed your way. And I really hope that these podcasts will inspire you, or inspire somebody that you know that would love to listen about what it is to be an entrepreneur, how to record music, or what it is on how to be a musician entrepreneurs. A lot of the times, many people think of musicians as just, okay, he's just a musician, right? He just plays a saxophone, or he just plays the bass. But it really goes a lot more beyond that. There's also an entrepreneurial mindset for each musician that records or is an artist. So please stay tuned. I got a lot of more insights on that as well. Now, maybe I started this podcast because I am actually a little halfway past my life. I'm pushing 40, a little plus. I want to say maybe +2, +3 now. And I think I have a little more knowledge as far as life, and maybe life goals and business goals, and also entrepreneurial goals as well. And also because I've been actually in the music space for over 20 years. Actually, I've been playing my saxophone since I've been 12 years old, which is middle school, and I played music throughout high school. Then went on to college, and I also did about a couple years there at Santa Monica College in the jazz band. And, music is just something that stuck around me for as long as I can remember. In the church, everything that had to do with musical instruments is what I love to do. So I think I can really relate to a lot of musicians out there that have been doing this for a while. And maybe you're one of those musicians that, say, hey, man, I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I think I can be an entrepreneur in the music space. I think I can do this. And I want to tell you, you certainly can. You certainly can. You certainly can make music, produce music, or even hire producers to do music for you if you are playing any certain instrument besides the piano. You can definitely hire musicians. Also, that also comes within the entrepreneurial space. It's also a business. The music, there's no music without the music industry, right? I don't know if you've heard of that saying. And also the music is a music business. So there's a lot of great entrepreneurs that are going to be on this show, on my podcast real soon. So please stay tuned for great conversations that will inspire you.